You've all heard the old axiom, especially in the offline world, the rich are different. You know, it's not in how they dress, it's not what they drive, it's not where they live. Although those things can be different, they're not always different. They're not. You could live in an average home and have the person, the man or woman living next to you, be worth $20, $30 million, and you may not even know it. It happens all the time. Communication on the net, ladies and gentlemen, is cold. There's no facial expression. You type someone an email, it is more often subject to what are they really saying here, because you don't sense the emotion. You read emotion into an email, right? And that becomes an art form, by the way, writing sales copy with emotion in it. That can be challenging, and you've seen me do it. You've seen me do it. Follow some of my sales letters, and you'll see how I do it. But it is a challenge to do that, because without having that skill, it's impossible to communicate on the Internet and show that emotion. But the rich know that, and I want you to know that. So here are 10 things that make the well-to-do on the Internet different with respect only to the Internet, not the offline world. And that axiom holds true even today, even on the net. Here are 10 reasons about how and why the net on the rich truly are different. Number one, this is an interesting one. Is it applicable both online and offline? But the rich and successful really do what they say they will do, and more importantly, they do it on schedule, on time, every time. There's no excuse for a missed deadline, right? Don't give a deadline if you cannot make it. Number two, they use easy to remember yet suggestive of who they are email addresses. For example, Mike G. or Bob M. You get the idea. Keep it simple. The rich don't leave their recipient wondering who the email is from. Don't try to get cute. Don't try to get fancy. Don't try to get funny. Just be you. Number three, they set up a folder for each and every person they do business with in alphabetical order and save all communication. The rich know that they can group certain types of people. For example, customers who purchase ABC product, right? They can all go into one folder. That can be done. Oftentimes you might have to email yourself their email, put their first name in it, so you have a record, so you can file them to find them later, because it's all about communication. It's all about keeping track. The more successful the successful people become, the more contacts they have, and having an intelligent storage and contact management system is paramount. They also back up all of their files at least weekly using a subscription service through a private source or their own backup devices. Both are available at pennies on the dollar these days. Number four, the rich insist on using and maintaining threads in their email. When I send you an email and you reply and then I reply again to your response, I want to have it all there so at a glance I can see tomorrow, next week, next month, a year from now, everything we covered. This is a tremendous benefit for both parties. Always maintain the thread in your correspondence. It sets you apart from everybody else. It shows the world that you are serious. There's not an email client, meaning the type of email service you use, Yahoo, AOL, Gmail, doesn't matter. It doesn't have a tab that allows you to maintain thread. Number five, the rich know that this is important, vital to accept responsibility for any error they make. They never pass it on to someone else that may be employed by them, even if a mistake is a direct result of the employee. They accept the responsibility, acknowledge it, and learn from it, and move on. After all, if the employee makes the mistake, the employee was probably not trained correctly. The employee was probably not given ownership of their job well enough so as to avoid the mistake in the first place. It's how they think, ladies and gentlemen. It's how they think. Number six. They always read the entire correspondence despite how hectic their schedule may be. Even successful people know how important it is to have a complete and clear understanding of all communication with their customers, partners, affiliates, and the only way to do that is to read the entire incoming communication, whether it be by postal or email, whether it be one paragraph with no breaks, no spaces, no commas, no nothing. Sometimes that can drive you nuts. The late, great Dr. Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, one of the tenements of his teaching says, seek first to understand. It's all about how they think. Number 7, the rich know when making contact with the sender, having a complete understanding of what the sender had to say, what their goals are all about, lends tremendous credibility to the recipient and obviously shows respect to to that sender. The rich know every single contact is important. Maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, but someday in time, down the line, the rich know the relationship they build today will last forever unless they and they alone destroy that relationship. It takes two to burn a bridge. Don't burn them. There's no need to. Relationship can fall apart for now, and you may elect not to do business with someone. 99% of the time is due to a misunderstanding, but there's no reason to burn that bridge. There's no reason to a year from now, 2 years from now, pick up the phone with whom you had words with or some disagreement and say, it's really been bothering me, and I just wanted to see if there was some way we could clear the air. That takes courage. It's all in the way they think. No man, no woman is an island. We need each other to accomplish our goals. Number 8, the rich have come to realize on the net how important it is that their communication, especially by email, is concise and complete. And these days, the use of shorter lines when reading correspondence on a smartphone can read easily with paragraphs between each concept or question or issue. This is all about making it easy for the recipient to quickly digest and understand the incoming message. Put the breaks in there. Put the paragraphs in there. Don't use too many words of copy per line. This produces significant financial reward time and time again. The rich know this, and they employ it. Number 9, on the net, the rich are always willing to share their resources. Note, not their trade secrets, but their resources. When they have found an interesting company or software or process that makes their business or their life more efficient or more profitable, it is the giving of themselves that is the underlying theme, the common denominator among the wealthy on the net that separates them from all the rest. You will find, ladies and gentlemen, contrary to popular opinion, that it is indeed the rich, the wealthy, who are far more willing to share of their ideas and what they have done to become the successes that they have become. If you just ask, not all will, and some will demand a fee. If that's their business, but if it's not their business, they'll happily share it with you. Every morning, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making any claims numerically, economically, but every morning among my devotions, I also read my personal goals, and I also read my own personal mantra. And in that statement, I say, be willing to share of my resources freely with others. And it's just part of how to think to make yourself successful. You don't need to guard anything. Yeah, trade secrets are different, but you find a resource you want to share it. People respect that, admire that, and it sets you apart. And if you want to become wealthy on the net or in life in general, you've got to be different. You've got to garner that respect. You've got to build those relationships. Number 10, the rich know to respect all of their customers. No matter how frustrating, no matter how challenging, no matter how difficult and time-consuming a customer may be. They realize that only about 10% of all customers are difficult to work with, but they also realize that 10% is no one can ever appease everyone all the time, but that is the goal. The rich know and understand the words of the late Dr. Stephen Covey, who said, seek first to understand. Sometimes you just don't know what those issues are that are troubling someone until you drill it down and truly understand them. It's only then that you can accomplish your goals first by helping them accomplish theirs. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to help you become a better you because, as you know, in the process, you have helped me to become a better me.